Rebirth family, I hope you guys are doing well. Listen, my name is Ryan Allen, and I'm super excited to be hopping into God's Word with you this morning. And I believe that God is going to speak. So make sure that you like, that you share, that you tell a friend about what's going on here at Rebirth. We want to make sure that you're plugged in and involved, and we're super excited about this. Listen, of course, we're in day 6 of our Money Matters series here and our devotionals in the morning, and I couldn't be more excited about it. And if you read the devotional today, then you know what's about to happen. We're about to read out of Deuteronomy 8, verses 17 and 18, and I think it's really good, and I just want to give you a thought for the next 60 seconds after we read this. So join me and grab your copy of God's Word, and let's join in together and read this. It says this, I'm just going to read it really quick. It says, "You may say to yourself, my power and the strength of my hands have produced wealth for me. But remember the Lord your God, for he is the one who gives you the ability to make wealth, and so confirms his covenant, which he swore to our ancestors as it is today." I don't want to take up much of your time today. I just want to remind you what God says in his word. I think it's sometimes we get caught up in not having faith in God because we think we're the ones that make it happen, because we're the ones who go to work, or we're the ones that put food on the table per se. But I think a lot of times, without even knowing it, we build a life around pride of thinking that we are the ones that make it happen. And we all know that at the end of the day, God opposes the proud. I talked about this the other day. And in the end of the day, we all know as well, we aren't the ones that make everything happen. If we were to pull back this natural layer and look into the spiritual layer of life, we would see how much God is actually keeping away from us, and how much he is keeping us even in our physical lives. In the same way it comes to our finances, that there is nothing that God does not see. And he gives us this ability to make wealth. And so if you are good at a talent, if you're good at whatever you do, well, all the Bible is saying here is just remember and remind yourself that as good as you are, as great as you are, that you don't forget the one who gave you the ability to make wealth. He is the one that gave you the ability to make wealth. He's the one that woke you up this morning. He is the one that did this. And so for you to remember this morning, just quite frankly, do not forget that God is the one who gave you the ability to make wealth. And don't walk in pride. Don't you walk in pride thinking that it's you. Don't you walk in pride thinking that, oh man, I'm so great and I'm so good. No, it is the Lord that gives us the ability to make wealth. Then he goes on to say, and by doing so, he established his covenant. Well, what's his covenant? His covenant is what he established long ago, whether it be the Abrahamic covenant and so many more, where he is establishing that he is God and that he is the one that not only gives you the ability to make wealth, but he is the one that's going to provide for you always. This is what this is saying here. I'm going to be the one that even though I'm giving you the ability to make wealth, without me, you're nothing. And so do not forget that without me, you are made of nothing, that you are made of nothing but dust, and to the dust you shall return. At the end of this is that my breath is the one that is breathing on the inside of you. So always remember and know, no matter how great you get, no matter how great I make you, don't you forget about the one who is the master design, who is the one who is pulling the strings, who's the one that's behind the scenes working all things together. It's me. And so remember Jehovah, your God, who provides for you. Remember the God who gives you peace in the middle of the storm. Remember who God is, because if we remember who God is, then we would understand that we're walking in humility. Once again, I talked about this before, but we're walking in humility. And as we walk in humility, God continues to give us grace to continue to make wealth and continue to do what we do. But if we walk in pride thinking it's ourselves, God will let us put us out there by ourselves, and we'll see how far we get without God. And in return, if the Lord is so much in a bad mood, for lack of better words, to allow you to go on with yourself and be successful, and you gain the whole world and lose your soul, what was it worth? What was it worth that you got the whole world, you got all the money in the world, but you forgot God? God would rather you be poor and seek him than you be rich and lose your soul, because he's more concerned about your soul. So do me a favor. Don't go and be poor and then have God out here being poor because he doesn't trust you. Go out here and remember the Lord, remember his covenant, remember his grace and his mercy and his goodwill to you. And my friends, go out and make the wealth that God has called you to make. You're called to be millionaires. You're called to be billionaires. We're not at Rebirth for no reason. We've been anointed by the leadership that is over us to be millions and billionaires. So go out there and be that today. But remember, the ability that you have to make wealth and to do the things that you have the ability to do all comes from God. Rebirth family, I love you. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon. Peace.